All right, guys. So today we'll start our prep for the Dolphins. Specifically talking about this team. Starting with Flo. Flo's a guy I know very well. We worked together for some years in New England. A lot of respect for Flo. I think he's got a very unique path in terms of how he became a head coach. Working in all aspects of an organization, starting in personnel, working with offense, defense, and special teams. So his involvement with all three phases, along with the draft and free agency, really shows through his personality and how they play. When you talk about this team, you talk about aggressive. It's one thing that's really shown up throughout his career, but then also specifically in these last few weeks in terms of how his team, his defense, his special teams really gets after you, puts pressure on you, is looking to go ahead and attack you as a team. When you talk about the coordinators, starting the kicking game, Danny's a guy I've known for a long time. Does a really good job. He's doing a great job right now of incorporating different schemes and using personality. They have a very talented core, very explosive returners. These guys are a threat every time they have the ball in their hand. You look at the gadgets and gimmicks that he incorporates as they go throughout the season. They really look to match up and take advantage of anything you've shown on tape. But they're going to go ahead and look to put pressure on you, whether it's midfield, backed up, whatever the situation may be. They move the ball a lot with their specials and kickers, make you cover the entire field. So he's really going ahead and looking to put the pressure on your specialists, whether your punter, your kicker, your returners, at every turn possible. Offensively, George does a really good job of giving answers at the quarterback before the snap. They've done a great job really incorporating the RPOs in their offense. They've stayed very balanced the last few weeks. You can see Tua's progression, how consistent he's been in terms of his completion percentage. He's doing a really good job of getting the ball moving, staying ahead of the sticks, and sitting out there with a lot of time of possession and helping his team go. And then defensively, Josh does a really good job. Obviously his background's in defensive backs, but Josh has always known the entire picture of the defense. He's done a great job working throughout his career. Got a lot of respect for Josh, how he gets his guys going. And obviously him and Flo work hand in hand, and see the game through the same lens. It's really been about being aggressive. They have very good talent. They're very, very aggressive in how they use that talent. It's been a lot of blitz, zero, and pressure, more so than anyone else in the league the last 4 weeks. You see this team really coming along, and look, they're coached well, they play hard, they've got a lot of talented players. It's going to take a lot to prepare for this team to get ready for Sunday. So that being said, I'll open any questions you have.
Coach, obviously Daniel, is there any chance of him playing Sunday, and can you talk about the Jake Fromm signing?
Yeah, we're not going to rule anything out right now. Daniel's going to be out here practice with us today. We expect him to practice tomorrow and Friday as well. We'll see what he can do. It's like any injury coming out of a game. We'll just see how he does.
You expect him to practice this week?
Yeah, he'll practice with us. Absolutely. He'll be out there today. Really a normal Wednesday for him.
Joe, was he evaluated for a concussion on game day, like either during or after the game?
I'd have to check on the after the game. Nothing that I've been informed about during the game, no.
Did you take anything from last year where it seemed like maybe he went back too soon from that injury? Do you have to keep that in mind to not do that again?
I think every injury is completely independent of another one. Look, the medical team's got to do their job in terms of determining if someone's healthy enough to go on the field. I'll do my job and get prepared for football.
Joe's playing. You said he's going to practice today, and kind of like. So is this normal for him? I mean, he's going to be limited. What's?
Well, we'll see what he can do when he gets out here. But in terms of right now approaching practice, right now we're approaching it right now like it's a normal day for him.
And he's taking rehab on the neck and things like that, I would guess.
I'm not going to go into all the specifics, of the injury and what they're doing, but he's working with our medical staff throughout the day.
Was that a play where he should have slid where it happened?
I'm not going to go into the dissection of every play right here with it. We're going to talk specifically about Daniel and where he's at. Today we expect him to practice. I've already made a point. I expect him to practice Thursday and Friday as well.
Was there anything during the game that said to you, his neck might be bothering you?
No.
When did you find out he was hurt?
In our post-game injury report on Monday.
So he didn't mention it. I mean, obviously he played through it. He didn't mention anything about a sore neck during the course of the game, obviously.
Nothing to me.
Do you have to prepare as if Mike's going to start, or do you prepare both of them?
We always prepare all of our players. So every week, Mike's job is to be prepared that if his number is called at any point in time, that either before or during the game, he's ready to go in and run our offense. We'll also prepare Daniel to start as well.
Would that mean splitting first-team reps with them?
We'll do the normal rotation we always do every week. Mike takes rotations every week, so we'll do the same thing.
Is it realistic for Jake to be active on Sunday?
Yeah, it's our job to get everyone prepared. So he's signed, he's on our 53 roster right now. It's our job to get him ready. Jerry will work with him extra throughout this week, make sure he gets caught up in the vocabulary. This guy comes from, an offense where I know he's handled a lot of multiples. He's a smart guy. He's done a good job through college and early in his pro career with the experience he's had. So we'll see how it translates over. But we'll get Mike and Daniel ready, and Jake as well.
Why sign Jake now? And what precipitated that?
Well, look, when you first get any kind of flag on any player, you kind of look on down. So if it's a receiver, if it's a corner, if it's a linebacker, you immediately say, okay, what kind of insurance do we need for the game right now? And then obviously it was an opportunity for us to add a player that we like coming out of college through the draft. It was a good time to add him, get him in here, and get working with him.
So you guys give Mike some first-team reps every week, you said?
Yes.
Does
the Dolphins scheme being so aggressive factor into your thinking about whether Daniel might play?
No. No, if he's healthy enough to go out there, you can't judge as a blitzer, or it could be a base, it could be peak coverage where they drop 8 and someone still gets beat. So, in terms of schematically what they do, no.
What is your level of concern in dealing with that aggressiveness? Because they really they throw everything at you, and an offensive line that isn't quite in sync can be vulnerable.
Well, I think our offensive line's done a really good job playing in sync. And they've made a lot of progression throughout the year in terms of our pass protections. And really where they're aggressive with the Dolphins is, you talk specifically about their pressures and blitzes, but it's at blitz 0 they've been doing a lot of, more so than anyone else in the league. In terms of, playing against these guys, it's just something you have to account for. Everybody has something different schematically you have to prepare for every week, and this is just something you have to prepare for with them.
Joe, in general, as a coach, when you have an athletic quarterback who can make plays with his legs, and you want the benefit of that, how difficult is it to navigate protecting your quarterback versus allowing him to make those athletic plays on the run?
Look, we always just have to understand, what are the strengths of our players, what's the best thing for our team, and be able to play to that. In terms of the health of a player, everyone's got to go out there every play and be able to play. So the medical team's got to do their job and give us clearance for when a guy can go out there and stay on the field. And then we've got to call the game aggressively to give our players a chance to make plays.
You've seen from Tua, Coach, these last 4 games, this 4-game win streak they're on. What are you seeing from him?
Making the right decisions. You can see Georgia's doing a really good job with this guy in terms of getting him in position, to find the receiver, give him answers before the snap. They're using that RPO game of really kind of creating one-on-one matchups, getting things going. Waddle's actually obviously an explosive athlete, and they've got a relationship from the past as well. But he's really getting the ball in the hands of the guys who can make plays for him. They saw some explosive plays from Waddle the other day in the game against Carolina. Really just talking about Tua specifically, though, his decision-making, as a young quarterback in the league, you see him every week just gaining more experience, getting more comfortable, playing more aggressive. The decision-making, the accuracy, just distributing the ball around the field has been very good.
Is there any concern at all? This could be a season-ending thing for Daniel, or is that not a concern right now?
Yeah, at this moment, no.
Joe, what have they done, the Miami Dolphins? They lost, I think, 6 or 7 in a row. They turned it around. What are they doing better these days?
I'm not going to speak completely for the Dolphins in terms of things they've changed. I just knowing Flo's mentality of what it is. It's it's not a sit back on your heels and react type of mentality. It's just keep throwing more at them, keep throwing more at them, keep throwing more at them. So that's the way I've come to know Flo. It's what I expect from him. He's doing a very good job of it. We used to joke a lot all the time. We'd call offense and defense against each other at New England at different times, and Flo was always going heavy with the pressure, and we'd kind of laugh about it. And Jerry Shaplinski would always kind of poke at him and say, all right, Flo, when you're in charge, you better be calling those blitz here then too. And we're laughing about the other day like he sure is. So it's that's just his personality and what he believes in.
Joe, does Daniel require, do you know exactly what is wrong there, or does he require more tests to really kind of drill down into what exactly?
This is not unique for any injury. So anybody who goes through any kind of injury protocol for us will always have some kind of early week checkup, be with our medical team throughout the week, and then have a late week checkup as well. So it's nothing unique for Daniel.
But did Daniel get better, say, from after the game to now where you expect him to practice this week? Has he improved from after the game to now, to the point where he's...
From the information we've been given, he's cleared to practice today. He'll be out there practicing. In terms of, his status of improving or worsening or anything, I'll let Daniel kind of speak for that on himself if he wants to get in that. But in terms of, his availability for us at practice, preparing for the game, that's what we're doing right now.
Joe, a couple other injury guys, obviously, Adoree and then KT and Shep. What do you expect from them today?
Really no difference right now than what they've been doing. They'll be out here with the trainers today, move them around. They'll all be involved with us in some way or another throughout the day. We've got the split walkthroughs today, AM and PM, and they'll be out here with us. We'll see what they can do after moving around with the trainers. That'll obviously build into tomorrow of what they can do in practice as we're moving around full speed.
Was Adoree an aggravation of what he was dealing with last week because he was limited on the practice report in the game?
I'm going to leave the exact diagnosis on the injury alone, but obviously he's dealing with a leg deal right there. We'll see where he's at.
Pat asked, you guys, is it accurate to say you have a full grasp on what the nature of Daniel's injury is right now?
The doctors do, and they communicate with us, and I take the information, I apply it directly into what we can do with it.
Joe, at right tackle, this is the question I get from fans more than anybody, so I gotta ask you, why is Nate still starting? You always talk about long term, you got a young guy like Parrott who you guys seemed high on coming into the year, so just why has he not kind of overtaken that role?
Yeah, we're pleased with the way Nate's really progressed throughout this year and how he's playing for us right now. So he's a guy who comes out and works tirelessly. Matt's doing a good job progressing in his career as well. We'll look to involve him as well, but we're using Matt in a lot of jumbo tight end type situations. He's expanding on these roles there. We've worked with him early in the year in terms of some guard stuff. really his home at tackle is where he's progressing. But he's given us contributions along the way as we go. So, talking specifically about Matt, we do expect him to play throughout different situations and different games. Nate's taking the lion's share of a lot of the reps, but Matt's always going to be prepared and expect to play.
Is there anything more you need to see from Matt?
No, we just expect all of our players to come out, work hard every day, and improve.
Where's Kyle Rudolph?
He's the same as everybody else. He'll be out here at the trainers today, kind of moving around. Pat, we'll see where he's at. I know Kyle's a guy that's kind of pushing to get out there as fast as he can. We'll see how he moves around today.
What's a hat?
Yeah, I lost a bet. So this is Evan Ingram, Ole Miss. So yeah. So had we pulled it out, he'd been standing back here ringing a bell today. But I think so we're gonna say bet's a bet.